Hello, everybody. My name is James Robotham. I'm the QBS lead for the Managed Division. I'm joined today on a webcast with Wayne Jervis, one of the pre-sales engineers from Unitrends, and Paul Hollow, who's one of the UK Partner Manager for Unitrends. Today we're discussing ransomware and how prevalent it has been. I think we've seen in the news that potentially there could be more effect due to the ongoing issues within the Russia-Ukraine issue, but it's always been prevalent and it's been growing year on year for many years. I look at some of the stats and it looks like businesses were affected by about $20 billion in 2021. And some of the analysts think by 2031 that it could be up to $265 billion. So this problem is not going away. It's growing. And I think according to Sophos, I think 37% of businesses last year had some sort of ransomware attack. So although that may have been dropped a little bit, I think the sophistication of these attacks are getting better and better. I think we've seen people taking advantage of COVID emails and other areas of sophistication where people were just unaware that it was, something that they would open and it affected the business. Now, I mean, it's very prevalent, and it costs businesses an average, I think, of about £1.85 million every ransomware attack they have. Now, if that's, if you're a big business, you might be able to suck that in. But if you're a small business, that is very, very costly. And, that could almost, send people to the wall, which, is a very, serious issue. So what I want to try and do is talk to you about how Unitrends are helping you protect partners, protect customers from from this ransomware threat. And I wanted to obviously introduce Wayne here to give you a quick demo on how they protect their customers and help with the channel. And then Paul is going to go in and give us a bit more detail about how the channel works within Unitrend and the partner programs. So no further ado, let me pass over to Wayne and let's get on.
Wonderful, James. That is really great. You've made some wonderful points there. As you know, and stated earlier on, I am actually the SE for Unitrends, or one of the SEs for Unitrends, and I assist account managers and executives with discovery calls with the customers. And, we are actually seeing a rising concern around ransomware. It is one of the top issues that get raised in each call. Customers want to understand how we protect data. Can we provide immutable backups? Do we protect Office 365? Because Office 365 is where some of the attack vectors are coming through, as James mentioned, phishing attacks in relation to gaining access to compromised accounts. And we always start the conversation with, we want our customers to protect the data everywhere, regardless of where the data resides. And we provide a platform which is called UniView to start that process, that conversation. And UniView is our single pane of glass that brings together our Unitrends backup product that protects data on premise. It brings together our endpoint solution that allows us to protect endpoints. They could be roaming, and our SaaS-based product, which is going to offer Office 365 and Google Workspace protection. Now, the key thing to note is that part of our protection for Office 365 and Google Workspace is our ability to discover compromised credentials on the dark web. Really powerful feature, simply because I'm going to connect to this Unitrends tenant right here to log in through this UniView platform. and we are logging into our Office 365 protection solution. However, the part I want to focus on right now very quickly is the dark web monitoring. The dark web monitoring, as I said before, is allowing us to discover compromised credentials on the dark web. As you can see, Christian right here is has been found to have compromised credentials associated with LinkedIn, Canva, and Bitly. He's using the same password potentially for Canva and Bitly. And if this user is using the same password for their Office 365, then the hacker has access to that Office 365 environment, which is not good. So we're giving customers very quickly a bit of insight, or very powerful insight, into compromised credentials. We call this front-end protection. The backup and restore process and protecting the data is called back-end protection. Now, if I pop back to UniView, we can actually go to our Unitrends product, and we're going to quickly just talk about how we can actually test backups, because customers who are concerned about cyber insurance are very much well aware that they need to be able to test their backups, as well as test backups before they put them into production if they have a ransomware attack. And our Unitrends product is able to do that. We can actually connect into our Unitrends product through this Unitrends interface, this UniView single pane of glass. And when we connect in, we have this feature called recovery assurance that is all about testing. This tile here shows us that we can align to the SLAs that the business has, but more importantly, we can tell you that you are compliant and meeting your RPOs and RTOs. This is really powerful because it aligns to the business. It's not just backup and recovery. And the other point to note as well is that when we do our testing, we are able to initiate a workflow, an automated test that runs through the process of simulating, but it's real recovery in a sandboxed environment, simulating the recovery process, booting the workloads, and running tests against the actual workloads that you're spinning up. Very powerful. We can check for malware. So this is being proactive, and it's a very powerful solution. Now, just to also quickly mention as a touch, we have a product called Graphos, which is going to provide email phishing defense. And as you can see, we can quarantine attacks, etc. We can actually provide more insight into this in another session, but this is just showing you that we have email phishing defense as well, which is integrated into our solution. I'm going to stop there, James, and I think hand over back to you, James.
Just one thing, mate. Obviously, in terms of your ability, you obviously talk to a lot of partners and customers. Is there any particular sector or vendor, or is it across the board that people are being hit by ransomware?
It is across the board that people are being hit by ransomware. But I think one of the important things to note is that our customers may not know, but the US is more mature in this space. They've been, dealing with this issue front and center for a long time, and they're more mature. In the UK, we are mature, but we've got some catching up to do in terms of our customers acknowledging that this is a real threat. And as you said, James, the current situation does, put us at risk.
Yeah, it does. I've been reading, and it looks like the analysts are saying that because of the support the UK are giving Ukraine, that there is, potentially more effect on UK firms by, rogue states. So, I think it's critical that partners and customers are aware of that threat and make the necessary remediation to make sure that they are secure. And obviously, Unitrends can do this for them and help them. And so, great. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Paul, obviously, from a Unitrends partner standpoint, how easy is it to partner with Unitrends?
Thanks, James. Yeah, so I look after the partner channel across EMEA, and been working with Unitrends for nearly on 2 years now, and it's really easy to access the channel, become a partner. In fact, we have one of the best channel programs out there, and we actually have the CRN 2022 award to prove it. But really easy to partner. Generally, it's just a case of speaking to your QBS account manager and setting up a call. We always like to qualify who we're working with, make sure that we're a good fit, and we're applying the best knowledge to that conversation. Really easy to set up on the partner portal, and that kind of sets the agreement in place. And it's a pretty impressive and very comprehensive partner portal as well. So we can go over individual sessions with each interested partner. But generally, loads of marketing collateral in there to assist you in setting up your campaigns and things like you would expect from any sort of partner portal. In terms of the ransomware content, there's tons in there. There's lots of email templates, there's blog content, there's images and all that sort of stuff. That's been set up and easily accessible for partners to access. And then to incentivize teams, we obviously have a very good incentive program, which is called Uni Rewards, and that does things like provide deal reg spliffs, so you can earn up to $100 for each deal registration that goes through the channel portal. Obviously, it has to meet certain criteria, but it's one of the sort of primary incentives that we find the sales guys are after, and people make a lot of money registering their deals. Also secures those deals, right? So we can work with them exclusively on those particular opportunities. And then there's obviously sales promotions that product packages that we put together that benefit your customers as well as yourselves as the partner. So really comprehensive and easily accessible, and I'm only a phone call away or an email away, so happy to speak with any of your partners moving forward.
Brilliant. Paul, Wayne, I really do appreciate your time on this. As I'm sort of echoing Paul's message there, if you are interested in Unitrends and partnering with Unitrends, they're a great product. They have comprehensive solutions and part of the Kaseya brand, which obviously allows you to expand across multiple facets in their programs. So I would recommend that you look at it. Please contact a QBS representative, myself or Paul, and please, let's look at this and let's win together. So I appreciate it, and thank you very much.